Blessed is the man that worketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. What is delight is in the love of the Lord, and in this Lord I see I did sunrise and sundown. Him I go there like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth fruit in his season. Him leaf never I go wither, and whatsoever him do shall prosper. Yea! The heathen them now they saw them there like a chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon the judgment of the sinner man them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah loveth the way of the righteous and the way of the sinner man them always and always. I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God say, Jah! Kramawe Grumabe Tila E. Where 2 and 3 meeting in the name of the Most High Jah. And that's so Jah there. If Jah never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain same way. If Jah never watch upon them same house we build for you, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks and I say unto your name, King of kings and Lord of lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, and Master Yahuda, and Master Negusto, Daniel, Komaya Sataya, Haimana Pio, Waya, Karmawe Grumabea Tila. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Black Rasta. Now, in every traditional African home, there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something sumptuous cooking. My brother, my sister. Now, the black pot is so symbolical of Africa. Yes, it resembles and it stands for Africa. Yes. From its color all the way to what it does for the family is all about Africa. Now, look at the ingredients that go into the black pot. Different colors, different shapes, different sizes, different smells, and different aromas. They all agree to disagree. Come into the black pot and be subjected to a certain amount of heat right there in the black pot so that one homogeneous product can be produced. And that is food for the nourishment of the family. And what is food time? It is family time, and it is time for unity. Oh my God. Same way as the ingredients agree to disagree, we as a people represent the ingredients in the black pot. Right here on the continent of Africa, we all need to come together, put away all our differences, and produce one homogeneous product. In this case, it will not be food, but development for our people, our continent, our land. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. And we are live on Pan-African TV. We are also live on Black Empire TV, and of course on Ghana Web TV. Yes, we are the masters of Pan-Africanism on TV. Via satellite, we are seen all over the continent of Africa and beyond. That is why your business on this show will thrive. Let us be that lifeline to your staggering business line. Pick up our numbers on the screen. Talk to us. You can send us a WhatsApp message or send us a free WhatsApp call. Let us talk and let's see how your business can be on our show, The Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. Right here, we believe that the biggest problem of Africa is not the problem of schools and hospitals and roads. It is the mindset. So we have set out on a journey to redirect the mindset of our people. That is why we say we don't do politics. What we do here is called patriotism. And so many people have asked me, Black Rasta, if you ever become president of Ghana, what would you do differently? And the answer has always been simple. I will never be the president of any country in Africa because I know my destiny. I wasn't born to be a president. I am a kingmaker. You understand that, don't you? And what I do, my brother, my sister, is to choose kings and make them kings. So if you know your destiny, you don't rush into becoming what you are not supposed to be. And again, if I did become president, I will be looking at the mindset and not too much about schools and roads and hospitals. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunimo, where we speak truth to power. And today, I am in my Black Stars jersey. Yesterday, the Black Stars did marvelously well, didn't they? In fact, all the 3 goals the Portuguese people scored were not proper goals. Do you agree with me? Later in the show, we'll look at them properly. In the interim, this is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunimo, where we speak truth to power. The budget has also been read. Hey! Today we have a lot of things to look at. Number 1 is rolling on your screen. Watch it and let's look at it. A desperate tax budget. That's what I see. Finance minister who is not too well. Finance minister who is lost it with the people. Nobody wants to see this face. Everybody is talking about him stepping down. Even his own people in parliament, the so-called majority caucus, in fact, came up twice in press conferences announcing that they don't want to do any business with this guy. But by some magic, the so-called majority in parliament sat down and listened to him come out and read whatever it is that they call the budget. Hey, now we were told that the Council of Elders sat the MPs down and talked to them and actually begged them to give this man a chance at least to come to the Parliament House and present the budget. Because the budget is what the IMF is going to look at to be able to come to the aid of this ailing nation, a country that claims that it is independent, yet every now and then we are running back to the same people who enslaved us and colonized us to beg for peanuts. What a shameless country. And that's what is happening all over Africa. It doesn't look like there's one single country that is truly independent. And that's sad. Is there a Russia in Ghana? Is there a Russia in Africa? I meant to say. A country that can stand on its 2 feet and say, hey, we are independent, both politically and economically. Nkrumah was taking us there, but they cut him off. This same loudmouth people, Nkrumah called fools. This is the Black Pot. And what is the budget really talking about? The budget is saying this, and this is from Tree News. My own Tree News, it says, government proposes increment in VAT rate by 2.5% in 2023 budget. Yes, the budget has been read. They are going to increase VAT, value added tax. You remember the e-levy. You remember the hustle they went through. Dash away this. Dash it away. The e-levy, you know what they went through in order to pass it. You remember, right? They flew in Ajua, Safo, all the way from America, went and removed Kennedy Ejapon from the surgeon's table, put him in a plane and brought him here, and a 3rd person from Canada. And we all saw the jingoisms in parliament because this lousy, incompetent finance minister told us that, listen, if we succeed in passing the e-levy, we will not go to the IMF. I'm glad the e-levy was passed. These incompetent guys in power would have told us, you see, because we said we wanted to pass the e-levy and you said no. You see that now we have to go to the IMF. Do you remember Gabi Ochredako? He was one of those who came out publicly to say, listen, if you don't want us to go to the IMF, then we have to pass the e-levy. Now we pass the e-levy. The lousy, inefficacious people in power. Oh, my brother, my sister. These guys who are so incompetent, the so-called wonderful team or competent team or great team, oh my God, have mercy, have showed the whole country that, in fact, They don't have the verve. They don't have the muscle. They don't have the balls to be able to run this country. They are bringing us tax. Now, e-levy, they say, is going to be reduced from 1.5% to 1%. The e-levy that you fought so much for, blew each other in parliament to pass. The e-levy that some people left their homes as early as 2 a.m. to go and sit down in parliament at the majority side, and all the nonsense that happened in parliament. Today, my brother, my sister, much ado about nothing. It has come out to be. E-levy finally did not give us the money that we wanted, and we all rushed to the IMF, begging the IMF again to come to our aid. My brother, my sister, now VAT is going to be increased. Oh, what a hopeless people. This budget is a desperate tax budget. At a time people are struggling and suffering, should you be thinking about increasing tax? You should be thinking about increasing productivity. How do you do that? What is the imaginative way, creative way you can deal with some of these things? But because we have a nation of people who cannot think properly and be creative, they are waiting for their bosses in America and England to come and puppet them and show them how they can do things. Why is marijuana not legalized yet? Marijuana is green gold. If you can call oil black gold, then marijuana is green gold. How many times have I mentioned marijuana here? Time and again. In fact, sometimes it even put me into trouble. I don't smoke. I don't drink. My brother, my sister, but when you look at it, you don't have to be so knowledgeable. You don't have to be so brainy to know that marijuana would be one of the things that will help us grow out of this dangerous economy. Now, what is our independence? Every now and then, when our masters, the slave masters, get angry with us, they have a way they can tighten a few things and we are in trouble. How can we break away from this chain of perpetual poverty and economic crisis? It's by becoming economically independent. How do we do it? By encouraging domestic production. How do we do it? We can do it by encouraging agriculture. How can we encourage agriculture? By making agriculture sexy. Rather, agriculture is about old men and women with no teeth. And we are so shameless, we sit down for toothless old men and women to break their back and produce corn and millet and rice for us to eat as strong people. Are we okay upstairs? 90% of all the food that comes to our table in Ghana, if it's not imported, then it is coming from these old men and women, most of who are illiterate, better still unlettered. And we sit back and we say that we are a civilized nation. In some countries, to call yourself a farmer is all full of pride. A friend of mine would say it's prideful to say that, yes, you are a farmer. You see farmers in suits. They get to their farms, they put away the suit, whatever jackets they are wearing, you would admire them. But in our country, no, sir. Farming is for the poor. Farming is for the illiterate. Farming is for people who have no direction. Farming is for people who are in default farmers. We can make farming so sexy. Instead of parading the photographs of old men and women with no teeth, holding hoes and harrows, we can put in the sexy ladies there. The sexy men, those with the pretty shapes and all that, go into the farm, even if they are planting tomatoes. The tomato leaf smells good and some other such things. Do you know how many young men and women this would attract? But no, we live in a cliched country. A country that is so stereotyped. An outlandish-minded country. And we all are looking towards one direction. This is how we've done it from 1900, from when Yaya Asantua was a little baby, all the way down. This is how we've been doing. Nobody has the right to change it. And you call yourself leaders. Where is your creativity? You are presented a budget that is a tax budget. My brother, my sister, that is the prima facie suggestion or idea I have about this budget. it is going to tighten up and break the people the more. People are crying and you are thinking about tax. No creativity. My brother, it's God who will take care of us. Dash it away. Let's look at that thing. Oh gosh. It's interesting. Next thing, run it, my youth. What does it say? Watch it. It says what? Hey, BAWUMIA attempts understanding rising youth population. Come! This man was touted as Africa's #1 economic guru. He was the savior of the economy of this country, the Jesus Christ of the economy. So we all waited for him to arrive from the skies. We all kept our gazes in the skies, waiting for his arrival. Then we saw him coming down. This time he had no nails in his palms. And then when he arrived, we said, oh, the country will be good. Not knowing he was a comedian. Not knowing that he was a joker. This guy here is the vice president of Ghana. One of the biggest comedians I have seen in my 48 years on earth. BAWUMIA attempts understanding rising youth population. And this is interesting. Are you aware Africa is the youngest continent? You are aware, right? Because Africa has more youth than any other continent. All other things remaining equal, Africa would be the manpower of the world if the youth are going to carry it up and run with the future. Watch what BAWUMIA says. Hey, it says rising youth population means more job opportunities should be created. Listen, rising youth population means more job opportunities should be created. And this is what BAWUMIA is saying. If we have a rising youth population, then we must create employment. Right? 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 Is it only the youth that need employment? How about the aging? They don't need it, right? He's not too wrong from that. Let's look deeper into this. What does it say? Vice President Mahmoud BAWUMIA has said that the youth make up a large proportion of Ghana's population, and it is important that conscious efforts are made to meet their employment aspirations. He said this at Guosun in the Ahafo region on Wednesday, 23rd November 2022, whilst okay, there's a word missing there. You know, well, he tried to launch, maybe while at the launch of the first region-led skills development and employment creation intervention, the Ahafo Youth Skills Development and Job Creation Initiative, designed and implemented by the Ahafo Regional Coordinating Council, led by Honorable George Yaobuachi, Regional Minister, in collaboration with the private sector. Handing over welding machines, hair dryers, sewing machines, aluminium ovens, sets of tools, auto mechanics, that's carpentry, electricals, pedicure, barbering, etc., etc., trowels, mallets, and other tools to the various assemblies. Vice President BAWUMIA noted that Ghana's youth, as a proportion of the total population, is growing at a rapid rate. And what did he say? The recent census conducted by the Ghana Statistical Service pegs our current youth population at 38.2%. On the positive side, it means Ghana has an abundance of human resource necessary to drive our economic growth, and that we are not in danger of facing shortage of skilled labor. Hold it there. I'm interested in making you look at something deeper. Watch this. Handing over what? Welding machines, hair dryers, sewing machines, aluminium ovens, set of tools, auto mechanics, that's a carpentry, electricals, pedicure, barbering, trowels, mallets, and so on and so forth. That's what he gave to the people. Dash it away. Now to these people, dash it away. To these people, my brethren, they only see employment as in artisanship. Dig the ground, build a house, find wood, do carpentry. You see what they went to give? Welding, trowels, wood, barbering scissors, and so on and so forth. My brother, my sister, is it what the youth need? Must the youth of Ghana be artisans? I'm asking you. Now, I'm going to build this argument bigger. When you go to Japan, and the youth are developing their skills, my brother, my sister, it is not artisanship in this manner. Where people are donated trowels to, mallets to, line and pins, that they should go out there and make their daily bread. This is almost like doing ponko. I'm not looking down on any profession, but if the youth population is rising, is it trowels and mallets that will grow the youth? But BAWUMIA has an idea. Bring the next headline. What is BAWUMIA saying? Watch this. BAWUMIA launches youth training and job placement program for 1,200 Ahafo youth. That's the same story. The same story. But watch it. 1,200 Ahafo youth. Bring the story. What does it say? Watch it. Vice President Mahamudu BAWUMIA has challenged heads of public and private institutions to explore and implement innovative ways to implement government's job creation efforts across the country. That's a great idea. Speaking at Guosun in the Ahafo region on Wednesday, 23rd November 2022, Dr. BAWUMIA said the youth make up a large proportion of Ghana's population, and it is important that conscious efforts are made to meet their employment aspirations. That's the same thing we read, right? Bring me the next slide. What is the continuation of this story? My brother, my sister, watch it. Come here, come. Read it. The Vice President made the call at the launch of the first region-led skills development and employment creation intervention. The Ahafo Youth Skills Development and Job Creation Initiative, designed and implemented by the Ahafo Regional Coordinating Council, led by Honorable George Yabwache, Regional Minister, in collaboration with the private sector. The program is designed to train 1,200 youth drawn from all 6 districts in the region in trades as welding, vulcanizing, general spraying, ICT, fashion designing, building construction, auto mechanics, aka fitting, general electrical, that's auto and civil, carpentry and joinery, hairdressing, painting and decoration. Dash it away. That's what we've been talking about, brethren. The youth need their brains to open up. The youth in these times need more than just a trowel and a hammer. Education is what the youth need. The youth do not necessarily need these trowels and the hammer. Somebody won't understand. Hey, if at this time you are giving the youth trowels and hammers, then what will you give to the old men and women? Brooms? What the old men and women should be doing is what they are pushing the youth into. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. My brother, How much effort, how much brain do you need to handle a trowel? How much effort, how much brain do you need, my brother, my sister, to hammer a nail into a piece of wood? Somebody would get us wrong. I'm not saying it's not important, but the youth who are supposed to take over the future need more than this. Are they training them to fly planes? Are they training them to go to the moon? Are they taking them into the science lab? The future is science, not artisanship. As for artisanship, it is enough to undergo training for a few weeks and you can handle it to perfection depending on your interest. True? Why do we always relegate ourselves to the background? When some people are busily flying to the moon, when people are in the science labs trying to find cures for several diseases that are killing us Africans and not even them. My brother, my sister, we are going around sharing trowels and hammers and lines and pins, and we are happy that, oh, our youth population is increasing, so labor will not be a problem. What do you mean by that? My brother, when you travel outside the country and you have your trouble, you would make your money. But if you know how to fly to the moon, you are respected more. Because, listen, with employment, I don't want to go too much into economics. But listen, depending on how long it takes for you to learn a certain job, depending on how much effort you need to put in, your pay could be high or low. It normally doesn't take too long for a carpenter to be trained or a mason to be trained as compared to training an astronaut, a doctor, maybe a lawyer, maybe an architect. At this point, my brother, my sister, we are only training the youth to survive. We are not training them to have enough and spread their hands and deal with other people. It's hand to mouth. I'll leave it here. I can go deeper into this, but I have a proverb for you. Yes, I have a quote. And this quote will look at exactly what the youth need. Do they need trowels and hammers? What do you think? If your son was part of this, what would you say? Say, when I said you should go to school, you didn't. Now go and learn a trade. In our country, when you fail to go to school, it's when they push you to go and learn a trade. If the vice president is boasting that we have a huge youth population, and it's a youth population that is giving shovels and hammers and mallets, then I beg to differ. That youth population will not do much. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. You saw that. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. My brother, my sister, what is education? We are only training their hands. We are only trying to look for labor. This was what was done in the days of slavery. What we are doing right now is trying to enslave the youth. Think about it. When the white man came here during the days of slavery, he was looking for the most scholarly youth. The old men he left behind. He needed labor for his factory. He did not need people who would use their brains as in. Please understand me. It doesn't mean a mason doesn't use his brain. But there are masons in different categories. My brother, my sister, we have bricklayers in different categories. There are some that you cannot approach with 50 CDs to come and build something for you. There are some that you have to pay millions of American dollars to in order to employ them. And there are those that do pom pom. Even with 100 Ghana cedis, they can work for a whole month. True or false? This training is putting out people who will take 100 Ghana cedis to do pom pom is slavery. They are only training them to become mules, beasts of burden. They are not training there. And this is what we are talking about. My brother, my sister, if you have a huge youth population, it's time to educate their minds. Let them go into areas that other people have gone to and prospered and have become economically independent. We are not interested in making our youth beasts of burden. Oh, they want 200,000 masons in America. Oh, we have them. Then they all run there and they are paid $1 an hour to go and work. And the dollar they are getting, they change it into Ghana money. They realize that, oh, they are even making more money. No. We want to train the youth so that they will control the future. We do not want to mark time or even walk backwards. No. We want the youth to be sharp. It's a disgrace to be going around giving shovels and mallets and hammers to the youth. I thought they were going to give them some textbooks or even say, oh, they are taking them to, a certain science center where some of them can... Listen. Some of these things, you can do them even without too much theory. Some of these things, you can do them without too much book. If you put it in your mind that you want to fly a plane, my brother, my sister, you might not need too much book. How many of them can repair the plane when it is broken? How about the ship? Some of these boys and girls, the youth, can build ships. Some can even build aeroplanes. But no, they don't want them to think big. You must have a mallet. Bam. You know what a mallet is? That wooden thing when you cement a place, the ground. Bam, bam, bam. That's a mallet. That's what they are giving them. Turning them into beasts of burden. It's a shame. I don't know how many of you would want your children to be part of the 1,200. They could have been better. Next thing I want to look at quickly. And what is it saying? It says common sense versus rashness. In our country, we are not taught to think big. We are taught to use trowels and mallets and hammers. We are not taught to build planes and build ships. Of course, it doesn't mean it is not important. But those whose mental aptitude is not strong enough to build the planes and the ships, they can get better along those lines. Bring a Chinese boy right now and ask him to do carpentry. He might teach the Ghanaian carpenter or the African carpenter things that will shock everybody. Because in every trade they put them in, they try to make them unique. But we toe the line and do everything that other people are doing. I just want to pray that you understand this point that I'm making. Common sense versus rashness. My brother, my sister, in our country, we don't want to do anything using our sense. We only use our sense when we want to cheat each other and steal from each other. So we are sly. We are not wise. Look at these two people. They are busy. One is sitting down in his office and is making a phone call. The other one is sitting in a plane using the taxpayers' money to achieve the same thing the guy with the phone is achieving. It's all about the World Cup, Qatar. The American president sits in his office. This is Joe Biden. He calls the American team and says, hey, America, put the coach on the line. Coach picks it up and said, this is Joe Biden. You know what? I want to also come and play. When can I play? And the whole team, that's the coach. And everybody starts laughing because the president has put out a joke. An old man wants to come and play in the American football team. Look at the American players. They are all smiling and laughing that they have a call from the president. He's inspired them enough. What does Joe Biden tell them? He says, listen, you are the underdogs and you know that. In America, football is not our biggest thing. But I know what you are made of. Go out there and make our great nation proud. Listen, the thing that makes America tick is the fact that they instill in them the discipline of patriotism. When the American is walking on the streets on a national assignment, he's ready to die so that the next generation can live. True or false? How many Americans would stand and take a bullet for the next generation? They are there in their numbers, not us. With us, we are taught to steal and eat today so we don't die early. We are taught that when there's an opportunity, it's better to steal and rob and collapse that opportunity so that the next generation will go about also looking for their own opportunities. Two, the next generation must go and look for their own opportunities. With us, when a man struggles and makes it big, he will never teach the next generation how he made it. After all, he struggled before he got it. You too struggle before you get it. So it's a cyclical foolishness, cyclical desperation. Everybody is out there running around trying to make it on his own. We don't have a community library of common sense. Community library of common sense where Kwame, Mensah, Joe, Mumuni, Adisa, they come together and share experiences that will not let them go through the same experience because many of them would have died. Somebody won't understand. If I went through a certain experience, you understand? And I survived it, and I come and narrate it to my community, how we can avoid this. Experience is the best teacher, they say, but you can also benefit from other people's experiences. You pocket your experience, and the rest of the people are going the same line. Not all of them will be lucky like you to return. Some will die. And you see yourself as smart. How many African herbalists have been able to find great breakthroughs, yet they made everything go away. They died and they buried them with that. Yet we have an African saying that knowledge is useless if it's not shared. Who created us? Joe Biden sits in his office. America is one of the richest countries in the world, if not the richest. Supposedly. He picks a phone call. He could have flown in the American plane, the Beast, or however they call it. Shoo! He would go. Sit with them. Dine with them. After all, they have the money. They are the people we are running to for loans and all that. But what did our president do? He rather chartered a plane, sat in the plane. An old man like that, look at him sitting there. Flew all the way from Ghana to Qatar. See how many miles. He goes there to shake hands with the people. A country that is suffering. A country that does not even see the next day economically. Here they are waiting for the IMF. And the World Bank, of which America is the highest contributor. He's shaking hands with them. Encouraging them that they will make it. They will make it. My brother, my sister, it's common sense versus rashness. President could have just called, spoken with them. They could even have done a Zoom call where president is sitting down and talking to the people. But no, the arrogant, rash president will charter a plane, sit in it, and fly, arrive there exhausted with no common sense, and then say he's inspiring the people. Is it juju or what? Your appearance there is juju. It's like Bansiri. Bansiri. If you don't have the Bansiri in your pocket and you're walking, you feel empty. So the presence of the Bansiri must be there in order to be talismanic. That's what is happening, brethren. We are so mediocre minded. Vice President is in Ghana, busily going around sharing trowels and hammers and mallets and lines and pin, and saying that that is a way of growing the youth. Jesus have mercy. How many of them are learning to fly the plane? How many of the youth are learning to build ships? How many of the youth are learning, my brother, my sister, how to control this economy? How many of them are being trained in leadership of common sense, not a leadership of rashness? How many? You are giving them trowels, lines and pin. You are giving them mallets and scissors, hair dryers, that they should go and be hairdressers. How many of them are they training to build factories that will produce trowels, factories that will produce hair creams, hair dryers, and all those things? No. Think mediocre. Let others produce so that you go around hammering the ground. Bah, 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 bah. Carry the cement. After all, you are the youth, you are strong. No building of the mind. It's not there. And they will use this to score cheap political points, that they have given trowels and lines and pin and mallets and some things. My child will not be part of this. It's time to sit the African youth down and put common sense in their heads. It's not about strength. Are you a bull or you are a donkey? In the days when the slave master turned us into donkeys, he had no regard for our brain. He only had the regard for our strength. That is what the vice president is teaching the youth now. Pongpo, carry kongpo, carry lines and pin, mallets and the rest. The president has flown all the way to Qatar to tell the players that they will win. American president, older than our president, sits in his office, calls the players. He cracks a joke that he wants to play. He says, hey, I don't need to hide anything because our so-called motivational speakers in Ghana are so stupid, most of them. I started business with 12 Ghana cities and I've been able to build a whole harbor. Now I am taking the sea from Accra to Kumasi with 12 Ghana cities. And it's a lie. If you listen to motivational speakers in Ghana, it's like a different world, cartoon world. The American president tells the people reality. He says, you are not regarded in this World Cup. And we Americans are not expecting too much. But we know that you can do it. Go do it and come. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. Simple. They didn't need to quote 20 Bible verses to tell them. Hosea 1 chapter 2 verse 1 says that, oh, when you wake up and you are going to play the football, look into the sky and say, Jesus, and you will win. Foolish motivation. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The president has wasted yet a lot of money to fly to Qatar. Mr. President, you will go down as the worst president this country has ever had. May Satan embrace you night and day because you are a lousy president. The next generations will look at you as Satan's grandfather. When we return, I have a quiz question for you. Hey!
Skipper George.
Blackpot. Coco Show, man.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kuku Show, where we speak truth to power. We don't do politics. What we do is called patriotism. My brother, my sister, hey, patriotism. Hey, in the partition of Africa, from the 1800s all the way into the early 1900s, Britain had more African colonies than any other country. In fact, twice the next country, France. 30% you saw. Do business with us. We need your business. We are not asking for charity. We need you to do business with us so that we would be able to have that financial muscle to forge on. The truth is very bitter. But it's only bitter medicine that heals. My grandfather used to tell me, when you take medicine and it's sweet, it's not medicine. It is a soft drink. The medicine that heals is the bitter medicine. My brother, my sister, the truth is bitter. When you speak the truth, you become an orphan. Everybody runs away from you. But you love the truth. We are building a nation of generational thinkers. A nation devoid of mediocrity. Shovels and trowels and lines and pin. Remain there. Don't learn how to build ships. It's too high for you. The Chinese will build it for you. Hey, my brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot, aka Kuku. Show them next. What is he saying? Okyehene. Hey, in positive action. Come. Okyehene is the chief of Achimegbuakwa. The history of Achimegbuakwa is so checkered. He used to live in England. When he speaks his English, you find traces of the, the British way of speaking. He was known as the king of Galamsey. Hey, when everybody was asked to stop Galamsey, he wasn't. Ghanaians descended on him. Some people got so disrespectful. I'm sure he took a back step and told himself, no, I have to do things right. And I applaud him. Look what he has done. Okyehene, the stool sub-chief over Galamsey, stand off. Stand off. This is from my Joy Online. Read the story. Come on. What does it say? Come. Okyehene, Osajifo, Amuotia, Oforipenyi has directed his outfit to this stool. Benkumhini of Asaman Tamfo. Nana Boachi Dankwa over Galamsey activities. The development follows a petition by a resident group known as Concerned Citizens of Asaman Tamfo to the Achimegbuakwa Traditional Council on November 9. The residents accused the Benkumhini of engaging in illegal mining activities which caused the pollution of rivers and threatened livelihoods and farms in the community. Dashed away. This was the same place where they went shooting, pam, 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 all over, like some Hollywood movie. This is the Benkumhini, old man like this. I told you, fools also grow into old men. You are not interested in what will happen to your children's children. All you think about is, let's destroy it now. Let's eat now. Didida. Change the preco on TV. Look at him. Look at his face, like the face of an ass. When I see people like this, I get so angry. Look at him. He's even wearing a watch. My God. He's lying down there and begging. Ochihini says, no. You blew your chance. Why? Why? What is wrong with us? Now the youth have to come out and so they distooled him. That's the sheep they slaughtered. And that he should go. Our chiefs sometimes behave like they have no brains. You are destroying the land. Should somebody come and tell you that, hey, stop destroying the land? The children that you are raising, and you think that you have to destroy the land to take care of, they would suffer the consequences of that. And these idiotic chiefs, most of them would send their children to England, America, and other places that have not been destroyed if they were also behaving foolishly like you. What's wrong with us, brethren? What's the problem? You look at some of these things, my brother, my sister, and you are like, what is happening to us? You see, when the system, when your leaders push you into mediocre achievements, shovel, trowel, and line and pin achievement, the population of the youth increasing in Ghana. So vice president thinks that, oh, yeah, he is so smart. He's going to donate trowels, lines and pin and mallets. What's the quality of the youth we are producing? Are we turning them into beasts of burden? Jesus. Benkumhini, you are a disgrace to the people of the area. Your children will grow and see you as a useless old man with no brains, greedy. Your face looks like the face of Satan. You are a big disgrace. The youth now have to go and report to you who should have taken care of the place. These are the people who don't care what happens to their area. When you want to talk, they will threaten you with juju. They have this juju, they have that juju. They will kill you because you don't respect old men. Shame. Dash it away. I want to go now. Next thing. What does it say? Watch it. African teams bad showing at FIFA World Cups. I love football, but not every football. I like it when African people are playing. I don't know why. In fact, I've said it time and again. When I look at white people playing, it's difficult for me to identify the faces. I'm not too good with number 6 place here. No. You understand? So I'm not a supporter of. I like my real Tamale United. Real Tamale United. Francoba Stars. Akarakachi Boys. Savannah Stars. Upper West Heroes. Y Heroes. Swedro All Blacks. Where are they? Where are all these? Bofuakwa. They are all gone. The real Republicans, dead and buried. Today, all the youth are betting on Manchester. My brother, my sister, it's interesting. But how many of us know Didier Drogba? He used to have jelly curls and ponytail here, you know, from the Ivory Coast. He used to play football like mad. I think he even played for Chelsea. That's Chelsea there, right? He used to play for Chelsea. Yeah, he and Michael Essien and all those people played for Chelsea. He has said something that I want to end this broadcast with. World Cup Why African countries struggle to perform. And this is Chelsea's legend, Drogba. He said Chelsea's legend, not the African legend, not the Ivorian legend, Chelsea legend. I like that. Go into the story. It's going to be short. Chelsea legend Didier Drogba has given a reason why African countries struggle to perform at World Cup tournaments. And this is the reason. It's very difficult for African teams because you've got individualities. I like that. They are very good at their club, especially those playing in Europe. But when they come together, it becomes more difficult for the manager to find the right system. They play the right guys at the right position. Better still, to play the right guys at the right position. To keep that intensity that's required when you play at that kind of level is difficult. What he's saying is nothing but the truth. But also remember that the Portuguese team that we played yesterday, they also play in so many different countries, right? Their captain, Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, plays in England. Manchester, they just kicked him out. So they also play international football. So when they bring them together, it's still the same story, right? They would have to find out how to make them gel. But the difference probably is how much time do we have to prepare the team? I know a lot of African players who do not even want to play for their country. After all, how much would they be given? Their club levels even pay them more than when they play international football. Patriotism is thrown to the dogs. They do not give themselves adequate time to even meet and be fluid enough. What they do is, call. We all meet and then go and play. But I need to make an interesting remark here. Listen, like we keep saying, patriotism is key. If we are patriotic enough and think about our country, our continent, we will not spend all the time pleasing others when our people are sulking. I'm speaking in parables. My brother, my sister, how many footballers in Ghana, how many footballers in Africa will proudly end their careers in Africa? No. 99.999, in fact, that's even small. 130% of all footballers in Ghana are looking forward to playing in European teams and teams outside Africa. True or false? In fact, there was a time, oh God, come here. Look at the Black Stars team. There's only one locally based player. All the African teams, 99.999% of all their top players play in the foreign leagues. So for the coach to even call you, the visa is that you have to play in the foreign league. I have discussed this time and again. We have to try and disabuse the minds. Hey, if you don't play in the foreign league, it means that you are a nobody. The Ghana team is made up of 99.99999% foreign-based players. So the standard of the white man is what we are translating into our national team. It's like the awards. You can be in Ghana, in Africa, and work so hard. No, the African people will not see you. Let one white man come and say, oh, Well, he was planting trees all morning. In the evening, we even saw him planting trees. I think he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. I think that he got to get this, and that. The following day, when you are on CNN, then African people say, yeah, he's our man. Yeah, but you will not put in the effort to shine the light on your own people till the white man doesn't. That's the same politics with our football. How many players are in the local league and they are splendid, superfluous? No, we won't see them. Till the white man comes here and says, oh, Idrisu is playing for Real Tamale United. He's such a wonderful player. We want him. We want to sign him. $6 million American dollars. He's good. He's good. And then he goes to play once. Ghana will be running after him. Meanwhile, under our noses, Idrisu was running left, right, and center. It's the same thing with our music. Until we are endorsed by the white man, it's difficult to get good recognition. You see a lot of underground boys running around. They make so much good music, but nobody regards them because there's no endorsement. And it's the same thing with the DJs who play the music. They will never go ahead to make a song a hit until somebody else makes it a hit. Then they go looking for the hit to play. It means you're not creative. You don't know your job. You don't. You can't play all the songs that are hits. People would have heard them too much. What are you doing to also bring up other hits? You should be able to open your ear and listen to good music and say, oh, this song is not popular, but it's a good song and it might make it. It's the same thing with the football. You see the player, you know that this is a player who can do well. And then there was a time there was not even a single local player in the Black Stars. Go to Nigeria. How many local players do they play in there? The white man has not put his thumbprint on them, so they are nothing. You see? So it's going to be difficult for us to break through because we are not independent-minded to choose our own stars. We wait for the white man to endorse our own stars for us before we use. What Drogba said is not far away from the truth. If I was the Ghanaian coach, 70% of all my team will be coming from local, if not 80%. You know what else is going to tell the local guy? Put in the effort. But where the whole team of how many people, 22 or 25, 26, 27, only one is a local player. Well, to God be the glory. I appreciate you. We shall reach there, but we need